Hello and welcome back. We are the Full-Time Ultras and this is the podcast of pain. I'm Aditya. I'm definitely in pain after this weekend. Here we have Junaid. Any pain stories for you?
Not yet. We'll talk about PSG after round of 16.
Yeah, the midweek games might bring you pain.
Yeah. But
ये
good
किसान
evening.
लीग वाले क्यों बात कर रहे हैं?
Good evening for now.
Don't talk till you're introduced.
I don't want to be interested.
Okay. You don't want to be introduced? Fine.
No,
Then we have Shahan, United fan, pain again.
Tough week,
Yeah.
but we have to be here. When we win, we always itch to get on the podcast,
Yeah.
but we have to swallow the bitter pill and also make ourselves available in front of the camera when our teams lose as well. So, it was tough, but we are here to decode and see what went wrong.
Winning, I wonder what that means. And then we have Raghav, also a United fan and also in pain.
No. I've changed sports, guys. I am ICT fan now.
India World Cup हार गई पता है
World
ना?
Cup का भूल गया तू?
हाँ,
At least वो टीम 4 साल में एक बार दर्द देती है. ये टीम हर 4 दिन में दर्द देती है.
Points.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I don't want to start with Chelsea or United. Let's just start with Villa Arsenal because
Yeah.
Cool.
that's a proper top
We'll
of the table
gradually
crash.
build the pain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pain for another one of our members who's not here.
Yes.
But Villa Arsenal top of the table clash. Villa win 1-0. Shahan, what do you make of this Villa team? Are you convinced of their top 4 credentials now or?
I'll start with what do I make of this team.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think this team is slowly, gradually getting into the shadow of Unai Emery. It now properly looks like an Unai Emery team. Even when I was watching the game and even when Arsenal were trying to, break Aston Villa down, they couldn't because United have faced Unai Emery teams, especially in the Europa League. And once they take a lead early on, they'll always start strong. They'll put you on the back foot. And then their organization in midfield and defense is like so good. It makes it very difficult for teams to break them down. So that is the only worry for me with Aston Villa was hopefully they would take more time to get into that Unai Emery rhythm. But they are slowly starting to get there. What do I make of their prospects? See, it's very difficult for me. Number one is they will have to keep this home form going. Because away, they are not that convincing. They tend to drop points away. Home form, they have to keep getting over teams. They can get these 1-0 results. I'm totally convinced of that. If they can beat City, they can beat any given team on the day. Top 4, I would say more likely. Title contenders, no chance. Because for me, you have to keep your players fit. Because if Watkins goes out, who's there to come in, right? If they already have Mings out. Tomorrow, if something happens to Pau Torres, they don't have that player to come in. Something happens to Megan. Who comes in over there? So, the season where Leicester won the title, if you notice that season, everyone was fit. You look at that core. You look at Huth, Wes Morgan, you look at Drinkwater, Kante, Mahrez, Vardy. They were fit for the entire season.
Yep.
Can Villa do that? I don't think so because they have a couple of players who get injuries in their team. So I don't know if they can sustain that, and they are in the Conference League as well.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see with Villa. But top 4, if they can continue this home form, they can get it.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring up the title because they're 2 points off the top of the table because Liverpool lead, Arsenal second, and Villa third.
Yeah.
And it's like 1 point each. So surely like those murmurs will have to start, no, Raghav? Like when about pushing for maybe
Yeah, of course. When such a team has such a run of form and they are on the brink of the top of the table, like they are 2 or 3 points off the top or something, rumors of it, like that feeling starts
Expectations.
those expectations creep up. But I think, as Shan pointed out, they don't have that depth in their squad just as yet. They're a really good team, no doubt. Their play style and the way they create chances and press the opponents is massive, and it's very impressive. But I don't think they're a title contender. But even we said that Newcastle wouldn't make the top 4, or they have an outside chance of the top 4 last season, and they made the top 4. It could be a similar season for Aston Villa. Top 4, I think they can make the top 4.
Yep.
But title, I don't think, man. It's too much for them for now, because if you want to win the title, you need to be consistent home and away. So they are impressive at home, but if they're dropping points away, then the same games are won by Arsenal and Liverpool. So it gives them an edge.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the difference in the title charge comes in.
Okay. Let's move on to the other team in the game, Arsenal, who was supposed to be challenging for the title. Villa blew City away in the previous game. Arsenal definitely put up more of a fight.
Definitely. Actually, Arsenal should have won the game. They should have converted the chances. Odegaard had a good chance in the first half as well as in the second half. And I really think, watching the game and later the highlights, they had a really good chance. A really, really good chance. They performed much better than City. Of course, we saw that.
Yeah.
But if you look at the goal that they conceded, the way McGinn scored, right?
Yeah.
The calmness, the composure, he took the ball, he turned around and he scored the goal. That shows how comfortable Aston Villa are right now.
Yeah.
They scored against the like of City and now Arsenal, who are the title contenders, and playing against such big teams when you don't have those many big players. Like you don't have players like Haaland, or maybe you don't have Mohamed Salah. You have good players like Diaby has come in this summer. Then you have Watkins, but those aren't the elite player kind of things. But performing against a team like Arsenal and in the end, I feel like there were some patches of the game where they were toying with Arsenal. They were just taking shots like for fun, and and Martinez, how good he was. He saves his leadership from the goal. I mean, this Aston Villa looks something really dangerous for the future as well. And they have good fixtures as well.
Yeah.
So, yes, I think not title contenders yet, but they are going to push the top teams a lot.
Yeah, it's also interesting to see Martinez picking fights with some of his former teammates as well.
Watkins?
No, not Watkins.
They almost
former teammates.
No, Martinez picking fights with...
Sorry.
There's Arsenal.
I thought you were talking about the goal they almost conceded.
Yeah, no. When he picked fights with his former teammates in a way. Arsenal title contention, we spoke a lot about their mentality in rescuing games and winning those games, because we always see that as the mark of a champion team. Does this change that for you?
It doesn't for me, because I think a lot of City already found it difficult. Yeah. Who else are left? Arsenal have lost. Liverpool have to still travel to Villa. And if I say that Liverpool are facing Aston Villa at Villa Park tomorrow, Liverpool are not winning that game. Definitely. Like, say in another 2 weeks, if Liverpool have to do the way... See, it also depends what time you are... at what part of form you're playing against a team. Right? And at what time. So, suppose, like, say... 2 or 3 months down the line, I don't know when Liverpool is playing Aston Villa, but at that time maybe Aston Villa are not in good touch, right? So it also depends on when the team is playing against Aston Villa. But at the moment, I do not see a lot of teams going to Villa Park and picking up points. The 2 best teams in the league last season went over there and they were like, they lost, right? So what other teams are left, right? You have Tottenham, you have Newcastle, Aston Villa hands down go in as favourites to win those games. So, I would say this game, if Arsenal would have somehow nicked it, it would have put them at a really, I don't know what he's on.
I'll get to it.
If Arsenal would have won this game, it would have been like a really, really big statement, because Aston Villa, hands down, is one of the most toughest places to go right now in the league. You know, I think, like, I'll make a controversial statement. It's even more difficult than the Etihad right now to go to, or even I'd say Anfield. So at the moment, like at this particular point, this junction. So I don't think Arsenal will still be up there, and I don't think this loss we should take a lot of it saying that Arsenal have they don't have it in them or anything like that. It's a tough place to go.
You forgot us. We have to travel to Villa Park.
But he's talking about title contention, na?
Oh, cool.
Aston Villa has a good
Dart.
fixture. They have Brentford, they have Sheffield, and then United.
Oh no, we are playing. So we are playing at Old Trafford, bro. We are not playing at Villa Park.
The December one.
December one is at Old Trafford. We are playing
Yes,
West
yes.
Ham away. We are not playing
Before
this.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but even if we have to go there, we any team at the moment, and if Villa continue this home form, any team going to Villa are second favorites from now on, right? I would have said City or Liverpool are favorites, but as of now, how they are playing, even Liverpool going to Villa Park, they won't be favorites. And I'm 100% sure if Villa have a week of rest, Villa are just all over that Liverpool midfield, right? So, it's not. I would say it's not 3 points. It's not a very big 3 points loss because a lot of teams going to Villa Park are going to drop points. So yeah, I don't think we can make much conclusions from that.
Yeah,
from
it's
this.
also like I feel Arsenal also need to, because last season it unraveled quite quickly for them after one really bad result, and then it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back because they do play Liverpool in a couple of weeks, and that's going to be another.
Is that at Anfield?
Is that at Anfield? I think that is at Anfield.
Or I think it's at the Emirates.
No, Anfield.
It is at
It's
Anfield, yeah.
Okay, that's a big game.
So, and
yeah.
that's another top of the table clash for them. So it'll be very interesting to see how they bounce back from that.
Yeah.
But again, Villa are super impressed because they essentially within 4 days they've beaten City and Arsenal. So
And just to say is that what differentiates Villa from our teams right now is the conditioning.
oh yeah.
They have worked under this manager, and you can literally see how the conditioning has improved.
Yeah.
Because to put that performance, those levels of performance, in 3 days is just like another level machinery that they have in their team right now.
Yeah.
And we'll get to our teams, and this is one of the major reasons why we are not able to sustain.
Yeah.
So yeah, credit to the conditioning team over there, credit to the fitness coaches over there, because it's very difficult to get the team to tune that way and to put in 2 performances against 2 of the best teams.
Yeah.
They're also
in
playing in
England.
Europe.
Yeah.
So they also
yeah,
have the
yeah.
same amount of matches as the
Yes.
top
It's
teams.
really credit where credit is due.
Yeah. Anything to add to that? Or
I'll refrain from Arsenal comments.
let's go to United.
Yeah,
Let's go
fine.
to United.
Nay,
Let's-
nay, nay, nay. I
yeah,
think
Theatre
no,
of
we'll
dreams.
let's just abandon, guys.
No, let's go to United.
Let's go to
I wanna
United.
talk about United.
yes, you have plenty to let off, I feel. So go right ahead. I'll come to you in a bit, Raghav.
You wanna go?
Do you want to go first? Or, okay, Shan, go ahead.
Why
First.
have I asked Raghav? Okay. Anyway, yeah, it was a very, very, very disappointing performance. And it was more shocking considering 3 days earlier we put in one of the best performances
Yes.
of our season. Now I don't know. Now when I see this game, I don't know if it was our best performance or if Chelsea are really that shit. Right? But
We'll get to that. We'll get
yeah,
to
but
that.
what I felt was that 2 things. I think the conditioning was off of the team. The amount of work rate we put against Chelsea was very high. So I think, and we didn't make much changes. We made 2 changes to the team coming into this. So I thought we kind of lost it over there. We couldn't deal with Bournemouth because they are a very well organized side as well under a very good tactical manager in Iraola. Secondly, I thought it was a mistake to start Martial up front because he had a terrible game. Was not the right game to put him over there. We should have started with Højlund, given him 6. I know he cannot play a lot. He's coming back from injury. So if we could regulate his minutes, I would rather have Højlund from the start and let him stretch the defense, get some amount of work in those defenders' legs, and then you bring in Martial so that it's easy for him. Secondly, for the first time, I'm going to criticize Ten Hag because his in-game management was really poor.
Yeah.
What I could see in that game was there was a lot of things not working, right? First of all, we were getting aerially dominated. There were those few spells in the game where we were getting aerially dominated. So Luke Shaw couldn't capitalize with that. Now, there is definitely an ongoing issue with Varane. What I heard is that he doesn't want to play Varane because number one, he wants to sell him. But irrespective of that, he doesn't want to play him because he's scared that if he plays and he gets injured, he would not be able to offload him in Jan because Varane can literally
In January?
snap. Yeah, that's
That's
the
quite soon.
Saudi want to get Varane in January.
Oh, wow.
So that's what I'm hearing through ITKs on Twitter. Good reputable ITKs. Thirdly, Reguilon was not working at all. So there was a desperate need for us to put Shaw back in the left and get Varane in, because Varane also gives you the aerial ability to deal with those crosses coming in. And midfield also, though McTominay has been our best player, but against well organized and well drilled sides, I think he cannot he cannot adjust the tempo of the game. He's good at scoring goals when he gets chances, but we were lacking in midfield, and that's where Bournemouth were dominating us in midfield. So yeah, all in all, it was not a very good performance. To concede 3, it could have been 4 as well, marginal. It is shameful, and the players need to look at themselves, because with all respect to Bournemouth, they're just Bournemouth, right?
Yeah.
And they can't come to your home ground and hold you by your leash.
Yeah.
So disappointed. It's a season that's going to be very topsy-turvy, and you just cannot expect what's going to happen. And these players, they need to do better. They really need to do better. These are not the standards.
Yeah, I'll come to you next, because as Sean pointed out, probably the best performance of the season against Chelsea for you guys. And then that's been followed up with like what I'd call a very lackluster showing. And Bournemouth are actually the last of the current Premier League teams to win at Old Trafford.
Yeah, this was their first.
This was their first win at Old Trafford ever.
Ever?
Yeah, ever. They're the last of the current Premier League teams to have done that. So I mean, what's going on? What's next?
मैं ही पनौती है भाई, चेल्सी का गेम नहीं देखा, इतना अच्छा खेल गए. 2 हफ्ते से यूनाइटेड का गेम नहीं देख पा रहा, इतना अच्छा खेल रहे थे. But in all seriousness, after that Chelsea performance, to give this, it's not acceptable, because we at Chelsea we were like, oh bhai kya chal raha hai? Why we were playing really well, and this was like, where is our defense? We were so open.
Yeah.
Like midfield though, there was no midfield.
There seems to be an issue with midfield, because even against us, you all were being opened up far too often. Well, when we were hitting in transition, it was almost always through that middle where.
That's the basic issue.
Yeah.
It's McTominay.
Yeah, McTominay.
That's what I was coming to.
Yeah.
Because how jitna bhi goal maar le, the basic problem is that McTominay cannot play in that pivot, and he cannot play in that midfield. We've had this discussion way too many times.
Yes.
With you as well. I think we've discussed this. McTominay cannot play that role. The first goal was McTominay's fault.
Yeah.
He couldn't see. He didn't scan. He didn't see where the defender is coming from, and he's just he steals the ball off him. Transition and goal. 2 passes and it was a goal.
Yeah.
So McTominay cannot play in that midfield, and I don't know why Kobe Mainoo didn't start this game. Kobe Mainoo could have started, and
the thing is, there's no way you're dropping McTominay to get in Mainoo after how United performed against Chelsea. Like, you go with the same attack and you can't drop. Who would you drop for Mainoo?
I would say, man, if you want to drop a player, you can say it for tactical reasons and bring on McTominay in the second half.
But that you cannot do that. It's easy to sit here and say that, but if it's a player who has practically won you the game before, you cannot drop that player.
Cricket नहीं है भाई, Indian team नहीं है.
भाई बात cricket की नहीं है यार, but then you need to go game. For me, you need to go game by game and what the opposition is. Against Chelsea, you can play McTominay because he will give you that threat, and that midfield is such. Chelsea's midfield is such that McTominay can be that bully. Bournemouth is a different prospect altogether. There's a difference between the two teams. And I think another point that we missed Eriksen in this game. I think Sean pointed that out during the game only.
Yes.
Log baat kiye the.
Yeah.
See, basically what Ten Hag is trying to do is he's trying to play the one holding midfield. Like a lot of managers are doing that.
Yeah.
You play the one holding midfielder and you play practically 2 10s.
Yeah.
Or in attack 2 10s, in when you're defending 2 8s,
Yeah.
right? So those 2 8s, they have to be really, really intelligent
Yeah.
with how they play when they are not with the ball, right? Now the thing, and also when you're transitioning, right? Because if you get the ball and if you are not able to scan and if you do not have the awareness of what's around you, if you lose that ball in that area,
Yeah.
you're gone.
Yeah.
Your whole midfield's open because
Yeah.
it's just one person at the pivot,
Yeah.
right? So people say that, oh, Casemiro was at fault, Amrabat was at fault. They are at fault because one of the 10s, and even Bruno in some aspects,
Yeah.
he loses the ball way too easily.
Yeah.
If you want to play that system, players have to be very aware of what's happening around them. You need really 2 10s who are really good on the ball.
Yeah.
And that's why in a game like this, where it's Bournemouth are slowly evolving into a technical team,
Yeah.
you have to know how to scan around and see who's where, right? When McTominay receives that ball, it's just like a schoolboy error. And that's not his game.
Yeah.
And against teams like these, if you lose the ball on these possessions, Chelsea couldn't capitalize. Chelsea
Yeah.
could have. But against teams like that, who have clinical strikers up front, you're going to get beat.
Ouch.
So,
Clinical striker.
Ouch.
yeah.
Not so subtle dig at us there.
Yeah. What's true is true. I'm sorry. But yeah.
It's fair given what happened over the weekend for us. But the Bournemouth angle, how impressed were you about their performance?
Did you watch the first goal?
Yeah.
How good of the touch was that? It was. I just loved the way that attack happened, the
Yeah.
cross, the runs they made, and the
Yeah.
one-touch finish.
Mm.
And the second, third goal were like clear defender errors. Not clear defender errors, but it was too good. Like the header, both the headers were.
Yeah.
I think they were unsavable at some point because there's nothing Onana could do.
Yeah.
I think this is one of those games where they conceded a lot of goals, but hardly any fault from Onana. It was more like defender errors and midfield errors which led to the goal.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate for a keeper who's getting his momentum right. Feel for him, but then United is like, what do I say? Roller coaster. Like they perform well against Chelsea at home, and then they perform like this against Bournemouth.
But just so I think it's also a perfect segue to get into the other teams. It's happening with a lot of teams this season. I don't know whether it's because of the amount of games these teams are playing or whether it's something else. But if you look at a lot of teams, like City had their rough patch. We'll talk about Spurs. We'll talk about Chelsea also in a way where sometimes they look like they had a really good performance, and then on the flip side they'll just collapse completely. So
Chelsea
it's
का rough patch में अच्छा patch आता है.
no, but there was a patch in the start where they at least were giving good performances, right?
Yeah.
But now that has also changed. So
since Newcastle, it's been pretty poor.
So I don't know whether it's whether these players are getting put through too much or what's the case. Obviously, injuries are there with every team. So yeah, I think this is a season that you cannot make assumptions. Like for us sitting here, we are making an assumption today, and then in the next week we'd be like, someone will beat Aston Villa like 6-0, and then Aston Villa will just go back to where they were. So it's very unpredictable this year, and a lot of high moments clubs are going to get, and clubs are going to get low moments. So you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned Villa getting smashed because they did get smashed on the opening day of the season.
Yes.
Well, inconsistent clubs. I suppose I can't call them inconsistent anymore. 4 games without a half decent performance. Everton 2-0 Chelsea. I'll get to Chelsea myself in a bit because I have a lot to say about this.
Yeah.
But Everton have been very impressive, especially since they got their points deduction. They've won 3. They've got 9 of those 10 points back already. Actually, Raghav, I'll start with you. Do you how
if you want to go first?
How impressive have Everton been?
I've had enough of these digs. For the record, man, they just seem like a team. Like they're a classic Sean Dyche team, man.
Yeah,
They have those bullies in. They have 2 commanding centre backs, and they have that They have a really good midfield and a good striker. My Sunny Bhasin is still playing, but he's not scoring. But I think one of their standard players has been two of their standard players. I think the one has been Abdullah Decore and Dwight McNeil.
Yeah.
So these two, I've been really impressed with them recently because they've practically carried the Everton attack. Dwight McNeil, especially in that Newcastle game and as in the Chelsea game as well, he was too good, man. Like he was like when he gets the ball, you have a feeling that with the confidence he possesses, you feel that something's gonna happen. Like he can go out down the outside on the left wing and come inside, play a little 1-2. He can link the play with Calvert-Lewin and Decore, make something happen, create a chance, score a goal. So I think that they both are coming into their own this season, and they have been Everton's best players. But it's just that the circumstances were such that they were not able to perform at the highest level. And Decore has been Decore ever since he's come into Everton, and even during his Watford days, he was a really good player, and he's just showing how good he is as a player.
Yeah, Sean Dyche seems to be getting the best out of him as well, because
And-
he's got
and
11
another-
goals for Sean Dyche.
Sorry?
Doucouré's got 11 goals for Sean Dyche
Yeah, exactly.
already.
So he is that sort of player.
Yeah.
Like, he's an attacking player who's really strong. His strength is you can't deny. He's a really strong player,
Yeah.
and he bullies his way through defenses. And another good signing that I would like to point out is Jack Harrison, who's on down the right wing. He's brought another dimension to this attack.
Yeah.
Or else teams could have been like, okay, they'll attack only through Dwight McNeil, so they can cover up the defense and leave the right side. Like no disrespect to the other players who played, but Jack Harrison is someone they need to be wary of. That there's another dimension that Everton can come in,
Yeah.
and they can, of course, Sean Dyche and crosses is like a really good love story. But yeah, that's Everton. That's Everton's assessment.
I think
Yeah.
credit to Daesh for
Yeah.
using Doucouré properly,
Yes.
because a lot of managers earlier would often play Doucouré deeper,
Yeah.
and that's not basically his strength. And his strength was always getting into the box late and scoring these type of goals. It also acts as a second advantage, is because Everton were too dependent on Calvert-Lewin to
Yeah.
score goals. He's found an outlet now in Doucouré who can take those chances. And with McNeil is Sean Dyche's son, literally,
Yeah.
right? They've been at
Burnley.
Burnley together.
together.
McNeil and Tarkowski. These two guys have been like with Dyche. So they, like I said with Villa, slowly this Everton side is getting into being
Yeah.
Sean Dyche's side, where you have these inch perfect crosses coming in. They're very good at set pieces. They're good in dead ball situations as well. They've finally sorted out their defense. They were very leaky early on in the season.
Yeah.
They were conceding goals left, right, and center, and we were like, "What is Sean Dyche doing?" Like Sean Dyche normally came in and got defenses sorted out, and we were like, "These guys are like," and that's the reason why I had Pickford in my FPL team from the
Yeah.
start, because I thought that Sean Dyche would do it, and slowly said and done. Now they're starting to keep clean sheets against big sides as well.
Yes.
So he's got that defense into line. He's before Chelsea. He's got.
That's the dig I was waiting
he's,
for.
He's got his team in line. And credit, man, they are ahead of Chelsea, if not for the 10-point deduction. So like really credit, and it was good to see them get out of that relegation spot, because you don't want to lose a team like Everton with their history to the Championship and their new stadium as well.
Yeah.
I would
And-
rather have them in the
And
Premier League.
especially with the way the punishment was given out.
Yeah. No, I just sorry, Apu.
Yeah, go on,
Just
go on.
one more point. The reason that Doucouré is able to play in that further role, that 10 role, is because of Onana coming in, Amadou Onana
Yeah.
coming into the team,
Yes.
and it is the Ganage, that double pivot that Sean Dyche is able to play.
Yeah.
That has enabled Sean Dyche to play Doucouré up front, which is a strong point.
They have a pretty good midfield. Even Ghana is doing very well.
Exactly,
Yeah.
Garner is
Ghana,
there. Yeah,
Onana,
Onana, Gay.
Ige and
Idrissa.
Onana. And Doucouré. So
And
Yeah.
if you look at that, defense, even Mikalenko has performed really well this
yes,
season.
yeah, good
So
attacking
overall-
fullbacks.
Overall, better team than Chelsea.
On the day they were good.
Better blue side.
Better. Oh, nice,
Better
nice,
blue.
bro. Nice.
Okay, since you want to weigh in on this, go ahead. As a neutral, because I'm still a bit peeved about last night's performance. So I'll go to you first. As a neutral, what did you make of Chelsea?
I asked this question in the previous episode that how are you taking your defense on?
Yeah.
I think they are getting the worst defense in this Premier League
Yeah.
because even when you're changing your combinations, Thiago Silva is sitting and Disasi is coming in, and who's the other one?
Badiashile.
Badiashile.
Yeah, from Monaco. They're not good. They don't deserve to be in this Chelsea team. I'm not in
It's more about individuals for you?
not exactly, but the combination is just not working.
Hmm.
Even when Thiago Silva is coming, I think it's just uska aa gaya, budhapa aa gaya bhai. He's not even starting for Brazil. He's not that Thiago Silva he was few years ago. I think you need a better defense, and not just that. I think even last episode you guys said that when Gallagher comes back and Sterling sits down, it could be a better team, but doesn't seem like. I don't know what's wrong, but I'm really impressed with Mudryk. He's putting his heart out. He's playing really well. He's making those runs. He's trying to hit those shots and trying to assist, but no one is there to score. And when they were there to score, Pickford did really well. I'm also impressed with Pickford in his previous games. He's keeping clean sheets. He's commanding the team from the behind.
Yeah.
But I think Chelsea needs a better defense in their team. They're conceding a lot short of goals.
I mean, can't disagree with that because, system, it's just clearly not working. Just
Tell us what you feel, na?
about
3,
Chelsea.
2, 1,
Yeah,
go!
What were your thoughts about the game?
The thing is, it was such a meh performance.
Because considering, like JD said,
Yeah.
you guys said that practically how you all wanted Chelsea to line up.
Yes.
It practically happened. It's like Poch was listening to us when we were doing our podcast
Yeah.
And
last
also,
time.
Reece James has been poor.
Reece James has
And
been
then got
injured.
injured
Reece
again.
James cannot sustain.
अरे रीस
like,
जस्ट वर्क फ्रॉम होम करता है रे
उसको
वो फुटबॉल पिच पे नहीं खेलता
What
वो
is he
थ्रो
doing?
करता है
वो सिर्फ इंजरी के लिए आता है भाई.
and I am surprised all these FPL content creators like got him in. Like Chelsea's greatest fixtures and
भाई
get
मैं तो
Reece
चेल्सी के
James in.
प्लेयर्स ही नहीं रखता.
But yeah, even I've learned that. But yeah, Aditya, just because yes, just to repeat my question was they totally lined up according to how you all wanted them to. Thiago Silva dropped in, Badiashile came in, Disasi was there. Colwell played centrally. Disasi wasn't there. It was Badiashile and who was in centre back?
It was Disasi. Colwell did not play.
Colwell did
Colwell
not play.
came in for
Colwell
Reece
did not start.
Yeah.
Reece
Colwell came in
James
for
went
Reece
off
James.
and Colwell came on.
Okay,
and then
okay.
so
then
Disasi
we-
went to right back
No.
Disasi centre back, Silva centre back, right back.
Silva was also
after
not
the
there.
substitution
Badiashile and Disasi in the center, Kukurea on the right.
Yeah.
oh my god this
It's the same system as
I don't get it man I don't get that Kukure in the right back role
there's a reason for it. And,
Seriously?
Because,
I
seriously
mentioned it
for
last
us,
time. Because it's because our right side and winger inverts and occupies the central space. To provide width down that side, we need a fullback on that side, and we can't play a centre back.
But
On that
Disasi
side.
used to play right
No,
back
but
for.
He's not exactly the he's not what you would call like a traditional right back.
But
No, he can
even
bomb
if
forward.
you're putting a left-sided fullback on the right side,
Yeah.
overlapping me, you will never get a cross from the right. He
Yeah,
will
of course
always
not.
have to cut in
Exactly.
from the left and then put a cross, which doesn't get your angles right.
exactly.
No, it's more about just providing that width to stretch that back line in a way. So when you have that you have width on both sides, then the back line is automatically more stretched out because they have to cover a wider area, and then that leaves spaces to the center. That's the thinking behind it.
No, but one question for this game.
Yeah,
I think Sterling was on the right.
Sterling
so
did
if you're
not
talking
play.
about
Did not start.
inverting.
He did not start. Mudryk was on the
so
left.
Palmer started on the right.
Palmer on the right, Mudryk on the left, and
Gallagher.
Broya on the as a striker.
9.
Yeah.
Who played the number 10?
No, it was a 4-3-3.
4-3-3
It's
tha.
like Caicedo, Enzo, Gallagher.
Okay. Got it. Sorry, I didn't watch the.
But yeah, anyway, what getting to your thoughts about the game?
This time, I think for the first time, I'm actually a bit concerned because this was not even a performance in which we didn't really threaten Everton. We had Palmer had one good shot on target, and that was about it. And it's just our decision making in the final third has been it's been bad, but this game it was even worse. It was like I have no idea what's going on.
A question on
Off camera
Parma.
right now.
Fantastic.
Okay, a question on Parma.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
question
is
on
going
Palmer.
on?
Obscene thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
like जितना मैंने देखा है Parma को,
Uh,
he has been taking wild shots. Is that his role?
so he's supposed to be our main creative threat, and yesterday we really lacked like any kind of penetration into the box. So we were basically limited to what kind of shots Palmer was taking, and the only other player who was taking shots was Enzo Fernandez. Apart from that, we really couldn't get into their box. They were very disciplined in defending, and I don't know. There's just so much missing with this team. I feel now because there's no creativity. There's no intent. There's no intensity.
Do you think Disasi and Batshuayi signing, were they good? Like, were they smart?
Bidashile for sure, but he's also had injury issues. Disasi was a bit enforced because Fofana's out with a knee injury, and we can't rely on Thiago Silva at his age to play every game this season.
Because as much as I have seen both of them, one was in Reims and one was in Monaco. They weren't that good.
No,
They
so
were like pretty average players over there who were just playing because they did not have the replacements. So I was pretty shocked to see those two players in the lineup starting for Chelsea.
Bidashile has been regarded as one of the best left-footed centre-back talents in the world,
yeah,
up
definitely.
and coming.
He was consistent, but they were still conceding a lot of goals over there.
Yeah, for sure. And like even so with our team right now, it's going to take a bit of time because this is the first time I think Disasi and Bidashile played together, if I'm not mistaken. And it's going to take time to build that rapport and just to get that chemistry together. It's a very young squad. I have to preface all of this criticism by saying young squad, going to take time to really get a team together, and also a lot of injuries as well. Like
No, but Aditya, that this young squad, I would say not an excuse, but this only works up to a certain amount of time because after a point you need to know what is your best back four and what is your best 11. So after a point, Poch needs to take some hard decisions that this is my back four. The what may, I'll play them for like 5-6 games. I'll give them a run of games. I'll give them like no matter what, if we lose 4-0 or we win 1-0.
But the issue with that,
I will be playing them, and this will be my midfield, and this will be
This
my
back
attack.
four, what they played against Everton.
No. In general.
No, but in general, too, they were playing. Their back four was nearly consistent from the start of the season.
So it's you're talking about Thiago Silva and Disasi and like,
Cole,
Unless injuries didn't hamper, हम लोग का भी वही हो रहा है. Injuries are hampering our back four. So what's happening with both our teams is, and I agree, today United had a press conference where Ten Hag said that in your defense is so important for how your team plays ahead. So they are also having problems in defense where they are not able to sustain a back four which is consistent enough because Reece James comes in, Reece James gets injured. Then Disasi is out, Badiashile is out, Levi Colwill has to play.
nobody's getting that consistent runs.
Same thing is happening with us. Like the thing is when you have a set defense, you practice with the same routines. That's what Ten Hag said. Like they train with routines, right? You with the back four you have communication, right? You train according to how you want to play ahead. When it keeps changing, it gets difficult, right? So you're not able to sustain that. So that's what's happening with them as well. So hopefully now, if they say Thiago Silva has to be out of that team because he's made a couple of mistakes, and players like this Badiashile, provided they stay fit, have to be in this team. So I think this result, what I feel is, shouldn't deter from the fact as to what it's been. They have to get a run of results. There's a lot of money spent on these guys, and it's not like they are old or something. They are young, right? So you need to give them those games, and you need to get a little bit of stability in that backline. And I think then let's see where Chelsea go from.
No,
yeah,
but
I agree with that.
What I am saying is that the back four, when Kukurea starting on the left and then going on the right, like this stuff like this hampers player. For me, it's a personal opinion, because when you're not played in your natural position, you won't you can't operate at the same level. So Kukurea at right back won't be as effective as Kukurea at left back. So would you not rather play another player there like Colville?
Colville's also left-footed, and Colville's a centre back.
So would you not play Disasi in right back rather than putting Kukurea over there?
It's about the system as well, no? And like, given what happened, we had an injury, and like that's an enforced tactical change that we've had to make.
I mean, it's Reece James. You should have forecasted that.
Yeah, and that's the tricky bit. No, we've got so many injuries that our backup to Reece James is also injured. Malo Gusto's he's also having a knee injury, and that's the reason we haven't got
out long term.
Not too long. But that's the issue with the sustained back four, and also there's an argument that's slowly building traction. Should we be starting to phase out Thiago Silva? Which
no, you should. I actually agree with JD on this one. Like Thiago Silva is starting to show that rustiness, or not rustiness, but that those errors are creeping in slowly.
See, I think it's going to happen. It's going to happen because
I think Poch will do it by the end of the season. I think
Poch was not the manager who signed Thiago Silva.
Yeah.
And the same thing is happening. People are more concerned with what's happening with Varane. And you have to remember Ten Hag did not sign Varane.
Yeah.
So that's how I think also Varane is getting phased out. Though Varane has a little bit more in his tank at the moment than Thiago Silva because he's a little bit younger. But defenders in the Premier League, like Ten Hag said, that you need athletes nowadays. More than footballers, you need athletes. You need players to sustain that amount of time. And it's sad for if players now maybe who are younger now, they will get to a better physical peak when they are 30-32 because they'll know gradually that the requirements are so. But like I don't think a player nowadays who's like over 30-32 is able to sustain and play consistently 2 games, 3 games a week.
But he's still our best defender. And the main issue with dropping Silva is that we don't have any kind of leadership.
That's more insult to your recruitment. If you say that Thiago Silva is your best defender.
And also the leadership that's there.
Yes.
He's the one who's actually providing that leadership. And he's probably one of the main reasons where we didn't concede as many goals as we probably should have. But also the counter argument's fair that at some point you have to start facing them out in order to get these young guys.
I think Thiago Silva quickly should be phased off a little bit from the lineup. I don't think so. You all should sell him.
No, of course not.
I think if he's okay to stick around and be on the bench, then I think he should be around that team because what Chelsea lacks at the moment are leaders.
Yeah.
And if you replace someone like a Thiago Silva, you definitely will replace him with someone who's younger.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of leadership, I think there's no one better than him to stick around and be near that squad and at least be part of the leadership group in the dressing room.
Yes.
So, phase out from the team, yes, definitely. But if he's ready to stay, then keep him around the squad.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just about
like
getting
as a mentor types.
Yeah. It's about getting these young guys to gel together and
he can play the occasional game.
Yeah.
Like a Carabao or a FA Cup or something like that.
Like his major role around the squad will be that to mentor
because
the young
Chelsea
defenders.
में कोई है ही नहीं तो एक्सेप्ट
हाँ.
के लिए देखेगा तो like there's no one there who's experienced enough in that team. So if you lose Thiago Silva as well, then
Gary Cahill played that role in his last season.
Yeah.
At Chelsea.
Yeah, I think he did. Even Terry and Terry. But I will point out that I wouldn't agree with Thiago Silva. I mean, he's still been very consistent for us in terms of defending. So I wouldn't say that he's like lost a huge amount.
No, I just said it's creeping in.
Yeah, slowly starting to creep. Yeah, like there are a few mistakes.
Exactly.
That's true.
It's natural that it creeps in with time.
Yeah.
But now that you're seeing that it's creeping in slowly and steadily, it's time you start the phasing out process.
Yeah.
Right by now.
Yeah.
Because if you wait for if you wait for the one mistake to turn into 3 mistakes again, then the crisis will be that it will be a must.
Considering the situation Chelsea's already
exactly. So by the time it goes to 3 mistakes again, you already have Badiashile who's ready to be consistently playing, or Disasi who's ready to be ready to replace Thiago Silva in the team.
But also players need to be fit.
Yep.
That's the big issue.
That's our main issue right now. And Sanchez is also injured, so let's see now what's next for us.
Who's your backup keeper?
Petrovic. We signed him from the MLS.
American.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's American.
No, he's not. We signed him from MLS.
From MLS,
yeah. This has been too depressing. I just want to move it along now. Let's
Welcome
go
to the club.
We were here before you, I feel like, especially considering your last season. Anyway, Spurs, a team that's found form now, comfortably smacking Newcastle 4-1. Son, your guy Son. Shan, let's start with Son. How
He's
good
my
was
guy
he?
too this guy this weekend.
Yeah, better for him.
With different reasons.
Yeah.
Luck से vice captain था भाई तेरा.
भाई
Yeah.
बच गया मैं. वो मैं vice captain.
Start of the week, you wouldn't. If you had a choice, you would never keep him as the vice captain. You would keep Salah as the vice captain.
Yeah, because I didn't know that Haaland would be that. Like you never focus. I personally, I
Okay.
never focus on the vice captain because usually you captain a player who's gonna play 90 minutes and you have a chance कि भाई ये goal मारेगा ये assist देगा. Like you never focus on the vice captain. So पता नहीं कुछ 5-6 हफ्ते पहले चेंज किया रहेगा कुछ वाइस कैप्टन वही रह गया सॉन तब से मैं हालैंड साला किए जा रहा हूँ इस बार हालैंड में रखा वाइस कैप्टन रह गया वो.
But anyway, a little bit
Yeah.
of a different role. He
Yes.
played
on
the
the
left,
left again this time.
this time, and he just showed and he proved that he still has it in him. And Trippier for the last 2 game weeks
Oh, yeah.
Horrible.
has been Dwight McNeil did it to him, and now Son has also done it to him.
White McNeil tormented him, man.
Tormented him, and
tormented.
the 2 goals at Everton were his fault. Over here, he's been at fault as well. But all in all, really good game for Son and Richarlison as well.
Yeah.
They didn't allow Newcastle to play much.
Yeah.
They pressed really well. Having Udogie back fully fit, Pedro Porro's also been a good signing. Attackingly, he's doing very well. They've got Romero in, which gives them little bit stability defensively. So yeah, they're also getting their players back, and they were due a win because they normally start games well.
Yes.
The problem with Spurs has always been sustaining. So
They
all in
become
all,
a
a
bit
very good
Spursy.
result. Huh?
They become a bit Spursy.
Spursy, yeah. All in all, good result. Newcastle trouble for them a little bit. But Postecoglou should be very happy with it.
Yeah, as Shan mentioned, another guy who shone was your boy Richarlison.
Oh, finally.
Yeah.
Finally a goal for him. That to brace.
Yeah, and like this was his first goal for Tottenham with his feet. Ever. Yeah.
Crazy.
Seriously?
Yeah, he scored
And he
2
almost messed
headers,
up
I
with
think, last
that.
season. Yeah. This was his first goal with his feet for Tottenham.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's a fun stat for y'all.
Damn, son.
I think he's talented, JD. What do
He
you
is
think? He's a
talented.
talented
We saw that
player.
in the World Cup as well.
Yeah. I think it's been a
Got the goal of
rough
the
patch
tournament.
for him.
A very horrible
But
patch.
I wouldn't have before signing from Everton. I wouldn't have minded him at United. He's a very talented striker.
Everton-
he works hard as well. He
Richarlison.
presses well.
Richarlison has been good. He has performed for Brazil in Copa. He has played in the World Cup like bicycle kick, and then he also scored few more goals in the group stages. He has been really good. He has been unfortunate a lot. We have seen his hat trick of offsides, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
He has been he had a very rough patch. He had his injury. Now he's back with his injury. Like come back from the injury, and now he scored a brace. I'm really happy for him because we have Copa like after this season.
Yeah.
And we need Richarlison to perform because we miss Neymar because Brazil has been horrible right now in the World Cup qualifier as well. So we need our players to pick up the form, and Richarlison doing that is really, really, really like soothing to heart right now because I see PSG getting knocked out in round of 16, so I don't want Brazil to be out so soon.
And Richarlison getting into form is also good news getting into Jan because Son is going to go for the Asian Cup.
Oh, yes.
So it's highly important that Richarlison starts banging in goals because it's going to be a tough period.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can get Maddison back.
Yeah.
Before
He's supposed to be back in Jan.
So yeah, it's going to be a big hole. So him getting into goal scoring touch would be good for Spurs. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, Spurs quite.
So AFCON and Asian Cup dono same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Spurs like obviously quite comfortable over there, but Raghav, their opponents, hammered by Everton midweek, hammered by Spurs. Injury crisis. Is it looking a bit bleak for Newcastle right now?
It does because the injury list that they have is not helping. The results are not being helped because I'm happy personally because I hate Newcastle hate bandwagon. I'm there. I'm the first to get on that.
Prison
But-
FC.
Yeah, prison. Jersey certainly does look like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they look a shadow of themselves last season, man. I don't know what has happened. Is it the injuries, or is it that something has changed, or Eddie Howe has he changed something in the team as a system?
It's the injury. Surely it's the injuries
because and they were not able to sustain. Like they showed it 2 games, Chelsea, United, whatever, and then we were like, oh, Newcastle can do it. PSG. They were like, oh, Newcastle can do it with 111 for exactly. 2 games weeks. Then why can't United not do it? And then after that, we saw what happened. So it's not easy to put in that level of performances. So that it's catching up. It's finally catching up for them now.
I think they look a shadow of themselves because of it is the injuries. But once they have their players back, will we see that level of performance? I think only time can tell.
Yeah.
If their players are back and they are the same, then I think the problem is much more complex and much more, what to say, it's bigger than we thought, that we can't just limit it to injuries.
Yeah.
So I'll wait for when they play like Tonali and
Tonali's banned for a long time. He's gone.
Who are the other players out? Botman.
Botman has to come back.
Dan Burn has
to come back.
Anybody but
Nick Pope has to come back.
Nick Pope
is out for 5 months.
Yeah.
So I think
Nick Pope is also gone.
Mainly their defense.
Callum Wilson is back. Harvey Barnes is gone.
Harvey Barnes season gone.
Yeah.
ACL.
So yeah, they'll have to see whether they make a signing or two in Jan.
No, but yeah, man. Let's see what. I think Newcastle are gonna finish outside the European spots this season.
Overall, like even the Conference League.
Overall,
that's
because there's too much competition there.
Yeah.
Because you have I think the top 4 will be like Arsenal, City, Liverpool, and the 4th spot is a three-way fight between Tottenham, United, and Villa. Then after that you have.
No, you never know.
I'm not saying anything.
You never know.
I'm not
not saying, and right now I'm not saying United.
No,
but
I'm
you
saying
never
it's a 3-way
know.
fight. I'm not saying. Bhai, fight mein to chhod do. I still feel we have a chance at finishing in the top 4. So it's a 3-way fight and whoever finishes in 4th spot, 5th and 6th is automatically other 2. So it leaves like 1 spot and we could have another surprise. And I don't think Newcastle are finishing in that. So I think they will finish outside Europe.
Chelsea? Where?
पूछ भी कैसे लिया?
As of now,
पूछ
no.
भी कैसे लिया?
As of now,
तू पूछ भी कैसे लिया भाई? वो टीम का नाम
वो धीरे धीरे तेरा निकल रहा है after every week. Last week I asked you, Apu was like, yeah, I think
5th.
Of course.
And
then after 1 week, Apu was like,
7th, 8th.
I think so.
अभी 9th,
And
10th
then
पे
the
आ
next
गए.
week, Apu will be like, I think so.
उसके बाद बुलाएगा ही नहीं.
उसके बाद
उसके
automatically
बाद
फिर
पूछेंगे
खत्म है.
भाई relegation avoid कर दो. 17th finish कर लो.
That's what I was seeing now, that someone said for Chelsea, it was like, now the golden rule is 40 points by top 4 offer gaya bhai, 40 points. That's what we are looking for. That's our next target.
3 more losses and I'm out of here. Like I'm not coming back.
Very interesting stat. Chelsea has been the worst team in terms of games per point, points per game in 2023. They have 39 points from 39 games. They have 1 point per game.
Mad.
It's crazy, like especially considering
Everything balanced.
Perfect.
And points to games to billions spent, वो ratio तो पूछी मत भाई.
उधर जाना ही नहीं है.
Okay. Let's.
अच्छा भाई अब मैं चलता हूँ.
हो गया बहुत.
हो गया बहुत हो गया.
जाने का
बहुत हो गया. I suffered enough yesterday. I don't need to suffer.
We
today
all
as well.
suffered though. We all
that
suffered.
is true.
But
No, I
we'll
suffered
have-
double as well because the Chelsea women lost to Arsenal as well. So it's just
It's just a good
Horrible
bad weekend for Chelsea
weekend.
Some
in general.
United team won though. United women's team
एक तो
played
जीता,
very
वही
well.
तो जीता. भाई अंडर 17, अंडर 19, अंडर 21 चेक कर ले.
नहीं
वो भी कुछ जीते हुए रहेंगे तो.
ना उतना नहीं देखना.
I think we forgot before we wrap up. We'll do that new
you
segment
want to
that
do
we
the
started.
hero?
No, yeah,
I'm just too depressed.
कोई
You-
prepared
So-
है क्या? I know. I can
हाँ.
think. I'm
so
very.
There's a new segment that we started. I think you might have seen it in the previous episodes. So we pick one hero of the weekend from the Premier League and one donkey from the weekend of the Premier League. So who is your pick for hero of the weekend?
I would go for Richarlison.
Richarlison?
His comeback, his performance, he has been good.
Good pick. And donkey? बहुत competition है.
Chelsea FC.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. So
Fair enough. You go.
No, मैं अभी मैंने start किया तो मैं last आऊँगा.
Actually, the debate is between Chelsea FC and United.
Yeah.
तो choose.
अभी
Make
bold
one. Take a
लिया,
pick.
अभी bold
हाँ.
decide कर
Chelsea
time.
कर दा. time जा रहा है.
Chelsea. Let's go for
Chelsea, okay.
Appu bro. Your
Hero. I mean, I'd say Unai Emery. Given where they've
Man is
finished this
cooking.
weekend, they've been spectacular in this past week.
Yeah.
Donkeys. I mean, where do I start? God.
बहुत ज़्यादा है सामने.
It's got to be us, hasn't it? It's got
Again,
to be us.
2 weeks, 2 reviews in a row. You've picked Chelsea.
Yeah, because the performances or the results have been just lackluster.
Yeah.
Sean?
Sean?
You pick Chelsea? Donkey?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed it. Okay.
Can't.
Both of my choices hurt very bad because if you see the contrast, obviously I'll start with the Donkeys. It has to be my team
Yeah.
because considering how you performed against a team, to back that up with a performance at home, like I said, with all respect to Bournemouth, to a side like them, the way they played, the way the goals that they conceded, they have to go down as Donkeys. For me, the hero of the week, definitely it hurts and pains to say, but it's Mo Salah. 200 goals for Liverpool. Amazing like achievement. There are some players who play for your rivals, but it's really very difficult to hate such players. Dislike obviously hai, but you cannot hate them for what they've brought to the sport, and phenomenon, man, what he's achieved in that Liverpool shirt, the number of goals he scored, keep scoring them as well. Hero of the week, Mo Salah. Amazing.
So
You were looking forward to this. Go on.
no, donkey तो भाई पता ही है. Common donkey है weekend के लिए.
अच्छा, 2 Chelsea, 2 United.
No, Manchester United, because
No,
there
like,
were only
wait.
2 contenders for donkeys of the week.
2
So
Chelsea.
2 Chelsea, 2 United.
Yeah.
He has no right to speak in that sense, but okay. Sorry, no defense. But yeah, United, man, after the Chelsea after the Chelsea game, to play like that at home at Old Trafford, unacceptable. And देखते हैं आगे क्या होता है. But my hero for the week is got to be Everton, because they've since the point deduction they've looked like a completely different team, and they've played really well, and they've gelled as a side, and they've defeated teams around them,
Yeah, I mean,
and teams
spots-
in and around them they've beaten them, and lost 2 teams better than them, a certain Manchester United. Sorry, but yeah, Everton are my heroes for the week because impressive performance, and they've almost recovered the 10-point deduction.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they'll be
Everton's achievement this weekend wasn't that great. I mean, they only beat a mid-table side.
Self-roast. Self-roast.
These are not my words. Spots said it in his post-match press conference.
really?
Seriously?
Spots called us up. He also said we might dip into the market in Jan. So
Good.
वो तो भाई बोली वैसे ही कर देता.
अच्छा, before I go, United fans, good news चाहिए.
क्या?
Casemiro's training on grass, मालूम है ना देखो.
Casemiro's training on
Grass, and Lisandro Martinez also is training on grass.
हाँ,
So
that is one bigger news for me.
अब हारेंगे तो और मजा आएगा भाई.
whom to blame now?
No, it's just picking out the small
कुछ
things of
तो.
happiness.
The silver lining वैसा बोलता है ना.
Something चाहिए ना positive रहने को as a United fan.
अपने 2 players तो
3-0 हार गए.
अपने 2 players तो 1 महीने से ग्रास पे ट्रेन कर रहे हैं. लाविया एंड इनकुंकू अब तक आए नहीं वापस.
वो
but ठीक है.
ग्रास पे ट्रेन कर रहा है या ग्रास के साथ कुछ और कर रहा है उन्हें मालूम.
लॉन मोइंग कर रहे हैं क्या?
Anyway, yeah, let's wrap things up on a pretty depressing episode for 3 of us, and
Yes.
I mean, soon to be seen
Enjoyable.
for you.
3 of us and 1 French football fan.
Yeah, one
Oh,
PSG
there's
fan.
UCL this week, guys.
Yeah.
The group of death will be decided.
Yeah,
माफ करो.
माफ करो already.
there
हाँ,
might
भाई,
be
2 दिन
pain yet
बाकी
for
है.
you this week, but yeah, let's see. That's it from us. As usual, do the like, share, subscribe to our channel. Put in the comments what you've thought about our opinions. If you have any other views, you may also put those in the comments. And yeah, that's it from us. Thank you. Good
So
night.
depressed, man.
Yeah, it's
Jai
horrible.
Shri Ram.
Horrible.
Thanks.